Welcome to Fitness Protocols with your boy Brando. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. And if you return to see this ugly mug some more, welcome back, my friend. This episode is a full dive into the push-pull-leg weight training program. If you don't have a program currently, or your current program is dried up or gone stale, and with it, your motivation, or maybe you just need a more efficient way to maximize muscle gain while saving time like myself, this push-pull-leg variation is a good option for you. I've been in the field of health, fitness, and nutrition for over 15 years. My burning desire is to share knowledge, experience, and methods to living a sober, productive, and meaningful life via bodybuilding, powerlifting, and macronutrition enrichment. But first, let's get it out in the open that this isn't an amateur training program, such as, say, the 5x5 program or Bro Split. Push-pull legs is an intermediate to advanced bodybuilding-based program. In fact, this variation I'll be sharing with you today is fashioned after arguably the greatest bodybuilder of all time, the Ronnie Coleman. This training routine is what bodybuilders are made from, and how I've gotten to this point thus far. As the name suggests, it's a 3-day split between a push day, a pull day, and a leg day. Push day will have chest, shoulders, triceps. Pull will have back and biceps. Leg day will be quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, and calves. This is the bare bones to the training program. As a novice weightlifter, I would recommend taking a rest period in between each of these training days. As an intermediate to advanced lifter, I find it more efficient to train for 2 days, rest day, 2 days, rest day. Example would be push day, pull day, rest, legs day, push day, rest, pull day, leg day, rest. I personally find that 2 consecutive training days followed by a rest yields the greatest muscle gain. If you're feeling ran down and you feel like you need to take an extra day off, take an extra day. Statistics show no significant muscle loss from taking an extra day off, I promise. If anything, you'll get stronger for it. Remember, injury prevention comes first, gain second, and this becomes progressively more difficult the more conditioned we become. Now, this is a breakdown of my current training program as followed. This is cross-plane training, which means it focuses on both vertical and horizontal plane movements. No muscle group goes unattended, and the sequence of these exercises are in order of operation. This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Lily Bear Princess McFluffy Paws. Sometimes she attempts to run from my love, but I gently remind her she has 2 options in this world, loving me and liking it. Anywho, push day 1, chest and triceps with passive shoulders, forearms, and core targeting. It's critical that we warm up our rotator cuffs leading into our heavy movements, especially movements like bench press. We start every training session with heavy compound movements. This is when we have the most energy. Standard flat bench or reverse grip bench press. 4 sets of 3 to 4 reps. This is 75 to 90% of our max, with 3 to 5 minutes rest in between sets. We're not in a hurry here. We perform this as a solo exercise, so by itself. Moving forward, the remainder of the exercises will be supersets and predominantly giant sets. This is known as circuit training. Circuit training is when you stack opposing exercises consecutively together with no rest, and finally rest at the end of each round. Each round consists of active sets and passive sets. Active meaning moderate load used, and passive meaning a light load is used. After we complete our power movement with either standard flat bench or reverse grip bench press, then we move on to circuit 1. This will be incline dumbbell press or incline dumbbell flies. This is an active set, and notice this is on the horizontal plane, so now our next movement is on the vertical plane. Following either whatever incline you choose will be dumbbell rear lateral raise and then mountain climbers as our 2 passive sets. We'll do 1 consecutive set of each to failure. We're going to rest for 2 minutes, and that's 1 round. We're going to do this for 3 to 4 rounds. Circuit 2, be dumbbell deficit push-ups or push-up variation, dumbbell side lateral raises, or oblique planks. Active, passive. Rest for 2 minutes. That's 1 round. 3 to 4 rounds. Circuit 3, dips and a cable push downs into farmer walks. Rest for 2 minutes. Each one is a round. 3 to 4 rounds. Circuit 4, low cable crossovers / flies or pec deck hanging leg or knee raises, leg curls or leg extensions, seated or standing calf raises. Now these are all passive sets. 1 to 2 sets to failure. I know what you're thinking. Wait, Brando, there's legs spliced in there. Yep. I perform a couple sets of passive leg movements at every workout. If hypertrophy is the goal, and it most definitely is, volume and frequency have to be up. I can manage to do this entire workout in about 80 minutes. Now on to pull day 1, which is back, biceps, passive shoulders, forearms, and core. Our heavy power movement for the day is a row variation. So machine, Smith, barbell, you choose. This is a horizontal plane movement. It's following the same theme, the 4 working sets of 3 to 4 reps at 75 to 90% of your max. And you're resting 3 to 5 minutes in between each set. Remember, we're not rushing here. Rushing leads to stalls and injuries, and we can't afford those. Circuit 1. So our vertical plane movement is going to be chin up or chin up variation. Next up will be dumbbell front raises, and then a set of planks. So following the same thing, boom, with 0 rest. Then you rest for 2 minutes. That's 1 round. We're going to do 3 to 4 rounds. Circuit 2, narrow grip, seated low cable rows or a low row on the machine. Rear plate shrugs, and then seated dumbbell curl twists. I recently talked about this in my newest video on critical bicep exercises with dumbbells. Same song and dance, active set, passive set, rest for 2 minutes. That's 1 round. We're going to do 3 to 4 rounds. Circuit 3, be narrow grip cable pull down. Now we have another vertical movement. So you see that we're all alternating between horizontal, vertical. Then followed by dumbbell side lateral raises. Then for our core, we're going to do hanging oblique or knee raises. So active, passive. Once again, same theme. We rest for 2 minutes. That's 1 round. We do 3 to 4 rounds. Circuit 4, cheat curls, lunges or Bulgarian split squats, calf raises or reverse curls. Now, cheat curls is our only active set here. Very effective. I love them. The rest of these 3 here are passive. We're only doing 1 to 2 sets of each. On a side note, I want to touch on the difference between supersets, giant sets, and circuits. When you do 2 movements consecutively, that's actually called a superset. When you add a 3rd movement in, that's referred to as a giant set. And then when you do more than 3, 4, or more, that is technically considered a circuit. So arguably, this is a series of giant sets compilation, but I find it easier to explain by just calling it circuit training. That concludes back and bicep day, and that's after that was the 2nd day, consecutive day, so I typically take a rest day. Now that we had a day's rest, we're feeling super pumped. Leg day 1. Quads, glutes, hamstrings, calves. The squat is our power movement for leg day. High bar, low bar, front squat, you choose. If we say that we do leg day, then squats are a must. They're not optional. Claiming to do legs but not doing any squats is like working in manufacturing but telling people you're a welder by trade. We all know those guys. Let's not be that guy. There is an exception to the rule though. If you have screws or pins in your knees or hip, and it's ill-advised to squat because you could exasperate or possibly do permanent damage to yourself, then of course skip certain leg exercises. That would be a silly risk to take. But if that's not you, then you squat. As our power movement, so we're following the same song and dance, the 4 working sets of 3 to 4 reps. It's at 75 to 90% of our max, and we're resting 3 to 5 minutes in between each set. We're taking our time here. We're performing this as a solo exercise. We can't afford any injuries, so we got to check our ego at the door, but still try to push as much weight as we can. Yeah, I'm going to be very honest here. The following circuits are brutal. I mean, they suck bad. But in the words of David Goggin, we must embrace the suck. Circuit 1, sumo deadlift or rack pulls. It's our active set. Or 2 passive is calf raises and leg extensions. Same song and dance, rest for 2 minutes. Boom, boom, rest for 2 minutes. That's 1 round, 3 to 4 rounds. Circuit 2, dumbbell split squats, calf raises, and leg curls. Dumbbell split squats are active, and then the other 2 are being our passive movements. Rest for 2 minutes. That's 1 round, 3 to 4 rounds. I really like dumbbells. So you'll see I incorporate a lot of dumbbells. It's a lot of stabilizer muscles. and that helps with strength gains moving forward with our power movements. Circuit 3 is walking lunges for your active set. Your 2 passive is hip abduction and hip abductors. I like to do these on the machines. Same song and dance, rest for 2 minutes. That's 1 round, 3 to 4 rounds. That's it for the leg day. I'm typically pretty worn out just from those 3 circuits and that 1 power movement. Doing leg circuits is very taxing. But wait, there's more. I'm sure you noticed that I titled each training day as day 1. That's correct. There's a day 2. Push day 2. Now we change the focus. Before it was chest and shoulders. Now the focus becomes shoulders and then chest, with our passive movements being triceps, forearms, and core. Remember, any exercise that is a push exercise, you're going to be working your triceps no matter what. If we're working with dumbbells, we have to hold on to them with our forearms, so you're always working your forearms, and everything resides from the core. The strong core is going to produce other strong movements. Everything else is going to be strengthened. Our compound exercise is going to be military or standard shoulder press. It's a vertical plane movement. We're making sure we're warming up really well to prevent ourselves from injury here. Following the 4 working sets of 3 to 4 reps, 75 to 90% of our max, 3 to 5 minutes rest in between each working set, and also once again done solo. Then we move on to our first circuit, which would be incline bench press or incline fly twists, dumbbell side lateral raises, and then decline weighted crunch. Active, passive. Same song as dance. 1 set after next set. Rest for 2 minutes. That's 1 round. 3 to 4 rounds. Circuit 2, our active set would be barbell or Smith front shrugs. And then push-up variation, either flat, incline, or decline. And then finishing with reverse pec deck. Rest 2 minutes. That's 1 round. 3 to 4 rounds. I really love that reverse pec deck. It really targets the rear delt really well. Love it. Circuit 3 will be dips as the active, upright rows, and oblique dumbbell side bends as the passive sets. Boom. Circuit 4 will be leg extensions or leg curls, calf raises, and then rolling forearm curls. And keep in mind, we hit legs pretty hard the day before. These might actually be out. We might need some rest and recovery. Now, for these other 2, though, if that's not the case, hit them. But otherwise, we'll do just 2 sets of each. That would conclude our second consecutive training day, so we're going to take a rest day. Nice little resty poo. Pull day 2. Back and biceps, passive shoulders, forearms, and core. Our power movement would either be hamstring pull downs or weighted chin-ups. You thought I was going to say deadlift, didn't you? We're getting there. You're so excited. I love it. I like to add a little volume to this power movement. The 5 sets of 5 reps. Pretty good. Still warming up really well. Each rep slow, controlled, and deliberate. Competition style. Circuit 1 will be narrow grip high row. That's our active set, followed by 2 passive, the dumbbell front lateral raise, and cable rope crunches. I really like doing the narrow grip high row on the machine by just grabbing the handles as high up as you can, rearing your elbows directly back. Delivers an excellent lat, rear delt, rear trap, and bicep activation. Circuit 2 is narrow grip low cable row, side dumbbell lateral raises, and then reverse grip plate curls. Adds a little bit of a variation to the reverse curl. Activates the forearms a little bit more intensely. With narrow grip low cable row, don't be afraid to experiment with different hand grips, positions, and angles. If it's not causing any discomfort and you're getting a good pump and feeling strong muscle contractions, that's all feedback that it's working for you. And it doesn't matter what some guy in the gym or some dude on the internet says about what's working for you. They can play hide and go fluff themselves. Pull-ups, then 21s, leg extensions, and calf raises. 1 set each for 2 rounds. So a couple sets each. We're going to stop here because we got legs the following day, and we're doing deadlift and squats on the same day. Don't look so excited. Leg day 2. We're changing the focus to hamstrings, then glutes, quads, and calves. The power movement? You guessed it. Deadlift. Now you can follow the same template, the 4 working sets of 3 to 4 reps. That's 75 to 90% max with 3 to 5 minutes of rest in between. Or once every few months, I like to just do sets of 3 reps. Anyway, go ahead and increase the weight every set until you hit failure. We must be careful though if we're going to do that. Deadlift has the potential to cause debilitating damage. when we want to keep lifting as long as we can. It ain't nothing to play with. The first circuit, we're going to do narrow stance deep squats. Ass to grass is the goal. We're really trying to target the glutes, followed by leg extensions and some more calf raises. Circuit 2, hip thrusters, active set. The 2 passive is walking lunges, calf raises. Boom, rest for 2 minutes, 1 round, 3 to 4 rounds. Now I know what you're thinking, hip thrusters, okay. I've heard men say that's a female's exercise. That women love it like men love bench press. But exercises and power movements are gender neutral, or better yet, unisex. I can't believe I'm saying this. They're non-binary too. They're for everyone. It's an incredible exercise for glutes, hip flexors, and hamstrings. And I don't like to leave any gains on the table if I can help it. Yeah. Circuit 3, and this will be the last circuit. Leg press followed by press into hip abductors, into hip adductors. That'll be 2 sets each to finish that leg day. Now you might be thinking, whoa, Brando, that's a lot. It is. This isn't where I started, but this is where I'm at now. Feel free to make adjustments to this program as needed. Our workout plan, it evolves as we evolve. It evolves with us. Consider it a living document, which is why I stress documenting our food intake and our training logs. If it can't be measured, it can't be managed. This variation of push-pull legs is the routine I use during my bulking phase. Some adjustments are made if my goal is cutting or recomp. If you would like to know more about that, check out my video on how to do body recomposition. Now let's take a look at the 4 pillars that maximizes hypertrophy, fat loss, and overall performance. Our aim is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day, and this primarily comes from meat. The body requires protein for organ health, function, and muscle repair. 3 to 4 servings of leafy green vegetables per day, and 2 to 3 servings of fruit per day, and at least 1 liter of water per day. If you find yourself thirstier than that, drink for thirst. Cardio. Every day that we work out, we're going to do 15 to 20 minutes of cardio. Treadmill, elliptical, bike, run outside. The choice is yours. Remember, resistance training first, cardio second. The program is the bare minimum for proper gut health, optimal immune system function, and therefore overall health and progress. I mentioned in previous episodes that carbohydrates are a lever. This lever must be pulled if hypertrophy is the goal. We're chasing muscle gains after all. If there's any doubts in the effectiveness of adhering strictly to the program, look at the difference in body composition just in the last few months. The timing of our nutrition is just as important as the nutrition itself. By consuming fruits and veggies throughout our working day, we're driving down our insulin resistance. It prevents bouts of grogginess and fat storage. So we just position the bulk of our carbohydrates towards the end of the day. This is our bread, rice, beans, tortillas, blueberry muffins. Love me some muffins. We just stack all of this in the last couple meals, 2 to 3 hours before bed. We don't want to eat all that immediately before bed and go to sleep on it, because that's going to affect our recovery, and we want to give it time to digest a little bit. Now this is going to spike our insulin levels. And that insulin spike, it doesn't even look like an arrow, which is going to contribute to a deep quality sleep, which is going to give our bodies time to use that insulin and the carbs that we ate to refuel the muscle cells. Then we wake up refreshed and ready to start this whole process all over again. I received my first donation via Cash App, which is in the description of every one of my videos, which also contain a link to a free macro enrichment guide and a copy of the push-pull legs workout program as well for those interested. I really appreciate the contribution. If the person is watching, thank you very much. When I've received enough donations to pay for a container of pre-workout or a protein powder, someone will have the opportunity to win the product as a prize. Free of charge, of course, so stay tuned. Meet me at the gym. Exhausted. It's a long video. Watch this next video. If you would like to make my life easier, please hit the like button. A like goes a long way to help me grow my channel, and I deeply appreciate it. Feel free to drop a comment. I do read all the comments and I appreciate the feedback. If you want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe button. I try to post as often as possible. I can also be found on YouTube Podcast and Spotify at Fitness Protocols with Brando. Thanks again for watching. Let's grow a stronger mind, body, and spirit one day at a time. Until next time.